All right, before I get started and just overwhelm you, my partner and also love of my life, Courtney Self, she's my best student. I wanted to kind of just share with you how she uses AI. So I call Courtney, she's a very unique, I call her a unicorn in real estate. She's what we call it, she's a Rainmaker. So she's dropped in multiple markets and has been a top producer each and every time. So I watch her and how she uses actually AI and every type of technology I usually bring to it. And she does bring a unique perspective. So I wanted her to share with you kind of how she uses this and what she does daily with her business.
Plus, you got to give me something to talk about because I'm listed as one of the presenters. Really, I don't know that much about AI. I'm a power user for technology. Tony teaches me how to use this stuff, and then I tell him how stupid it is. I'm never going to use it, and then I can't live without it. We've been married 30 years, so yeah. We have a track record of that. Lately, I've been using it. Well, last year I started using it to write my property descriptions. It gave much better property descriptions than I ever could. I'd have my client give me a list of features on the property, and then I just plug it in and it would do that. And that's morphed over time now. I run most of my emails through there. I use it for fun too. I write short stories for fun, and I've been running some of my short stories through there. It's more on a personal thing, but just to see what comes up, and it enhances those stories, so it's kind of cool. I had a staging company. I'm liquidating my staging company right now. I'm still going to do some mild staging on my properties, mainly the main living area, but I'm going to virtually stage all the rest of the rooms. I'm no longer going to be staging bedrooms or other rooms. So it's going to save me a little bit of money there and also a lot of time. I mean, staging a property is a lot of work. And let's see, what else am I doing with it? Oh, I use it for setting my goals. I've been working on my goals, so I had it put out the time. I had my goal set out, and then it broke it down for me and gave me more detailed tasks that I can work on. Because, when you're working on a goal, it's not one thing. You have your goal, and then you have 20 steps under that, and then 20 sub-steps from each of those steps. So it breaks everything down to the smallest possible task that you can think of. And that's pretty. That's pretty much how I'm using it for now. But I know it's going to continue. I've been. I do videos. That's the other thing I've been doing. I've been doing videos on it, and Tony's going to show you something that's really amazing, where you can do a video of yourself using AI, which is kind of cool.
Yep. So I was going to ask you, are you videoing yourself or are you creating videos?
So I've been creating videos using a video, but he's doing HeyGen. His videos are amazing. And the reason I don't do that, because I hate the way I look. We all are self-conscious when you do a video of yourself, but I just have to get over it. This is what I look like, I guess. So.
And what do you use when you create the videos? Or are we going to go over that?
He's going to go over that.
Oh, okay.
I will.
So I'm going to sit down and let him take over.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Yep.
I've been seeing all of your newer videos as Superman and all these different and all I'm going to say is, some of them I have to watch it 3-4 times because they're so fantastic that when I see it, I'm like, oh my God, that was cool. Then you see it again, then you see it again. So it's working.
Thank you.
That's all I'm going to say is it's powerful and it's working.
Yeah, I spoke to a gentleman. He gets about 50 leads a month on Instagram. And I'm part of these big communities, so I can program. I do some very advanced stuff. But I asked him, I said, because the thing is, when it comes down to it, we're here to sell and make money in real estate. And he happens to be a mortgage person. So his name is Sean. So I spoke to Sean. I said, how are you doing it? He goes, really, the first step is to make sure you do something every day, whatever it might be, just to get the content. Because what will happen if you use YouTube or watch YouTube, people will start to advance. You could see the beginning stages, and they get better and better at their craft. And that, for me, at the time was really tough. So then what I figured out, so I'm going to automate that. So I went ahead and automated it, and I'll show you some really cool things. I can do full automation, what Courtney suggested, as also well as using a HeyGen thing too. But we'll touch upon that as well. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming out on a rainy afternoon, because Californians do not venture outside the house when it rains. So you're like the true troopers here to actually get to do that. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Will we be getting the slides, or is that on your website?
It will be. You'll have it available at the end, so you can go ahead and get it from there. I'll have a link. And I'm going to put it in two ways. One is essentially what we're going to talk about. I'm going to focus really on 3 AI tools. What I want you to come back for, this hour is going to go by real quick. We're already 15 minutes into it, so I got 45 minutes to give you some very advanced techniques and to show you how I use this. And then you'll have the links and all the materials, and I'm going to just jump into a few things. One thing too, it's interactive. If your question is too long, we'll just talk after, but I want you to ask your questions while you have them on the top of your mind too. All right, so we're going to talk about these. These are things that I use in our business as well as what Courtney does for it. And really the main thing about AI, so I've been going back and forth with thinking that this is the most amazing thing ever, to the point where, oh my goodness, the whole world's going to end because all jobs are gone, that type of thing. So I've got myself back in the middle again. What you have to understand, and when I talk to this subject, I overwhelm people. That's why I've kind of dialed it back a little bit. But I do want to make sure that you understand that this is not going to go away. This Genie is right out of the bottle. In fact, it's going to get bigger and faster. This advancement of this technology is something I have never seen. I thought the internet was fast. I was the one, when I worked for the California Association of Realtors, that went to the MLS board to say there's a thing called the internet, and unless we get this material on this website, because we're afraid of Zillow, and we heard of a small company named Zillow at the time, we're going to be out of a business as professionals. And that took about 10, 15 years, where internet now is a necessity. You can't go to work. You can't function without internet. AI is that, but it's times 10. So we're getting to the point now where I still encounter people who don't use it, or they kind of dabble in it. That's why your homework, if anything you get from today, is I encourage you to pay the $20 to ChatGPT. I believe they're going to be the one that wins from OpenAI. And the reason for that, it's going to get some really cool functions, which I'm going to show you. Because when don't have to pay for it. But if you do pay for it, you get these extra features. So everything I'm going to show you, I only pay $20 for it. And you can do exactly what I'm doing with it, which is pretty spectacular. And again, too, I do have some, I teach a lot. I used to teach at UCLA for fun, but the drive was horrible, so I stopped doing it. You have to get over the fact that there is really no privacy as much. You want to protect yourself, especially your bank, but if you use these tools, it's going to remember everything. So that's the one thing that ChatGPT does quite well. I use it to search for everything. I ask it those just random questions, and it remembers all of that. So when I engage with ChatGPT and say, okay, what do you know about me? It is frightful what it knows about me. It knows a lot. It actually knows me sometimes better than my wife of 30 years. It just, because I engage with it quite a bit on this and that, and it's a scary kind of thing. Right now, we're at the stage of what we have is kind of in its infancy stage. It's grown tremendously, tremendously. We have not hit the stage where it's going to be smarter than us. I'm still smarter in certain ways when I program with it, when I utilize it. But just for this 1 year, I have been amazed how quickly it's gotten better at it. So we're looking possibly at 2 to 5 years where it's smarter than us. It'll be smarter than most people. And then that's where a lot of opportunities and a lot of concerns could possibly happen. So that's just one thing. Now, the good news is we're in the business of trust and working with people to help them buy and sell their biggest asset. So a lot of my clients, they trust me, they confide in me. A lot of times it's a lot to have on your shoulders, because I have some clients that whatever I say they're going to do. And I want to make sure they know I'm going to do a good job for them. So because of that hasn't happened as of yet with AI. It will eventually kind of get there, but that's going to take a lot longer to go. And there will be segments of real estate that will be replaced. Anything that's repetitive, anything that's task-driven will be replaced by AI very quickly. And that's one thing I just want to make sure. So the fact you're here, you're understanding it, and you're utilizing your business is a big good thing, because there's a lot of agents that don't. I talk to a lot of agents that just like they didn't use the internet. We're just going to kind of keep it aside. Okay? All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Tool 1. Now, this is the world of GPTs. So everyone has a smartphone. Yes? I just hope so. Yeah, okay, good. So you remember when the Apple Store came out, and that was a pretty big thing, because before you just had your phone and that was it back in the day. But then all of a sudden the App Store came out and all these applications started to actually install on your device. GPTs is the exact same thing for ChatGPT. And actually ChatGPT has done the best. So I'm going to show you here how that looks. And the one thing too that I'm going to tell you is that this website, techtony.co, is links. This is where all the links we're going to talk about, and then some. When I have additional stuff that I like, I'll put them on here. So we're going to be going back and forth to this particular page. So this one page is really the only thing you need to take notes. This is where we're going to reference back. I have all the custom GPTs, everything here. So I'm going to launch ChatGPT. So I have it on my dash here. You can install it as a standalone program on your computer. In Apple, it will actually take screenshots. Also, they just announced Atlas browser. Who has Atlas browser installed? Oh, okay. Atlas browser is ChatGPT wrapped around Chrome and a browser. So when I launch ChatGPT, if I have an account, here's my Atlas browser. This is the browser that has smart ChatGPT built in. What's cool about this is that anything you search or look, ChatGPT will remember. Sometimes, you go to a website and you're going, man, how do you cancel? And you have to go through the help section, or you just ask this, it will actually go over your shoulder and say, oh yeah, you click this link, click that link, or it'll do it for you. It's called agentic. This just came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So this is a ChatGPT enabled agentic browser. When they first launched the agent for ChatGPT, you had to pay over $100 a month for it. They're giving it out for free. So this is a pretty cool thing. So as a ChatGPT Plus user, you can install this, you can utilize it, and it is spectacular. It will actually look at everything you see on your screen, and then it will remember everything you've searched. Because you imagine when you go on your browser, you open a lot of tabs. I have one agent, she has 50 tabs open all the time. And all that information, if you were to use the Atlas browser, it would remember it all. So this is a pretty cool feature. So that's Atlas browser. So here's a ChatGPT. So when I go in here, my ChatGPT is going to be different than your ChatGPT. So the main thing is you want to make sure you know here, these are the fundamental items, new chats. Every time I do a new chat, think of it as a brand new piece of paper. So some people will tend to have one long chat into perpetuity, and that's kind of the wrong way to do it. If you want to kind of just compartmentalize your environment, your chats, if I have a good chat, I will remember it, I'll archive it, and I'll actually take it and put it into project folders to actually utilize it later on. So new chats is when you just click it and it just starts a brand new kind of chat, and that's all type of stuff here. So it's going to be brand new, ready to go. The oyster's your world. Now if you hit the plus sign, you'll see you can add photos and files, which I can drag items onto it. There's a thing called deep research. This is amazing. So if I want to know something, I say, okay, let's do a deep research on a topic. So my specialty in real estate is rental income. We have income properties. That's what I know inside and out. I'll say, you know what, there's a new law on rent control in Burbank. Do a deep research for me. It searches the entire internet, the websites, and it comes back with a detailed analysis of what I want. Then I can have an engagement with it and get information. And then I save that, and I create that, I call my rental control AI brain. So then when I get these questions about tenancy issues, I'm able to quickly search for it because it's already saved in my environment. That's how I use it. So I've been better as an agent, as an expert, and then sometimes better than some other people that do it professionally. But it just allows you to kind of get this info. It's now connected to the internet. Just a year ago, this was not connected to the web. It was stale by a few months, if you remember that, if you recall that. That was removed 6 to 8 months ago. They connected it to the internet to also have its base thing. You'll hear that the large language model has a base knowledge. Essentially, all of these large language models, anything that's written by mankind, anything written, any pictures, any videos that have done since the beginning of time is in these models. It's all there. Then on top of that, it's now connected to YouTube, to X, to Facebook, to the web. It's bringing all this information. It is tremendous how much data is being driving these things. So this is you can do deep research on that, and you have agent mode. And then on the left-hand side, you'll have a thing called GPTs. Now, how many people have actually used the GPTs? Just raise your hand. Okay, good. That's more than most. So the GPTs, it's just like the Apple Store on your phone. What I encourage most people, especially when you start off with this, is don't attempt to create a prompt. Rather, go to the GPT store first and search for that subject. Chances are someone of my skill set or someone who's, it's already needed it, it's already there. Now the GPTs, there's no charge for it, it's free. So you can go there and you can search for absolutely anything. Say you want to make logos, you want to write a nonfiction novel, it's there. And what's nice about it is you can then search, okay, these are the top picks. Here are the top picks. These are my ones here. These are the featured by NVIDIA, Canva. Here are the trending Scholar GPT. This one has had 200 million resources and built-in critical reading skills. Google Scholar, image generation, AI humanizer, consensus. It's just like the store. You can go in here, let's like for DALL-E, which is image generation, writing, tons of writing stuff. I have a GPT that's customized to my writing style. Now, this is getting harder and harder, so I want to make sure you guys do this now. So the way you get a good writing style is to have a sample of your actual writing before you start using AI. And the problem is, everyone's using AI to write, including me, every single day. So luckily, I've written a few books, and also I went ahead back to my old sent on my email, and I got some good emails that like long form that I've written, and I went to create a PDF, so I used that as my foundation or archive. So I'd encourage you to do that now. Yes, Ross?
No.
Okay. Hitting a bug?
For tone, so it,
Yes, so what happens is that then I say, okay, I'll have ChatGPT analyze my writings to give a tone, and there's a prompt you can use that, or I can use a GPT to create a custom item. So it writes
sounds
like me, uses my
personalized
verbiage,
like you instead of
uses my kind of, I have certain ways I say certain things, and then it just creates and writes in my way. So when I've written a few books, I don't use editors, I just use ChatGPT that's actually skilled in the way I write, in my tone, if that makes sense.
it does.
Yeah.
It does.
So the GPTs are amazing. So go here. So it's just a store. You can look for apps. They have everything that's available. And I'll tell you actually how many people have used what, programming, education, and this is through ChatGPT. Now, if you get the $20 a month, you can also program your own GPTs. And you can then do one of three things with that. You can have it just for you. That's why I use my Tony GPT. If you look here, I have these are my GPTs I have. It's my GPTs. And it's going to look up here real quick. It's thinking as well. Sometimes the internet is a little slow, but it's going to pull up my GPT. So these are the ones here. This is my writing clone. That's me as a young kid. I had a very big head. My mom and dad put me into this wash barrel in Long Beach. And that's the Tony clone. It's my writing clone. I created a custom GPT. It's only for me. And I use this 10, 20 times a day on my phone, on the computer. I drop my emails in it. It writes exactly like I would write. And that way it just kind of clears it up. And one of the worst things about AI is you don't have to spell. Spelling. I mean, it's kind of like, remember, you used to remember all your phone numbers and addresses when you were young, before the phone came out? Now I can't remember my son's phone number. I know my wife's phone number, but I don't remember my son's phone numbers. So you kind of offload that to your phone. So the spelling is also that too. Grammar and spelling is just going to go out the window. I'm just telling you that right now. So these GPTs, so you can create your own custom GPTs. And that's what's nice is that if you wanted to create your own GPT for yourself, you can do one. Or you can have a private link where if you wanted just to have it by link only, you can do that as well. Or I can put it on the store and make it available, and I have a few for you too. Yes, Gina?
That was my question. So if you want this to be private and no one, it's just your content.
Yep. This one, Tony, is mine. I don't share this with anybody. I don't even write like me with my big head. So these GPTs are all there. So if you look on the links section, you'll see here, these are the custom AI bots. And I created one, the virtual home staging one, which we're going to go into next. But I also made it a few like social media bot. We'll do social media that's specific to that. Business pitches, we do a lot of networking, my wife and I. So being able to pitch your services and how you are is important. So I created a one for myself and also for my colleagues. I'm improvisers, so they use it as well. And then I'll show you about the HeyGen too. I made some market scripts and that kind of thing. But these are the different types of bots they have there ready to go. The AI adjunct the bots. So okay, great, thanks, Ross. So these GPTs, they're like the bots that everyone talks about. They're the agents. These are the smart programmed agents. So when I create these bots, I will create very sophisticated prompts with reference material, and depending upon how complex it is, I might also program it to, I'm also a AI code programmer using NNN and Make. I might have a very sophisticated long automation that I created that's connected to it using webhooks. I know I'm talking Greek right now. But so these GPTs are like smart bots. Eventually, what the people think may happen in the future is we will not have websites. We'll just have agentic bots that you will interact with. These bots will be your customer service. They're starting to do that now. They'll make the calls. You'll engage with these bots directly, and they'll have a focus, and they might work with others. They might connect, but your experience of it will not be a web page. It'll be something smart that remembers who you are, that you've been there, that you like this, or connects that. It's going to be incredible. That's what I talk about agentic bots. Okay, so you got these links. So here's this is a title description bot. So if you want to do YouTube titles and blog posts, that's a bot I have available, and you can click on that link, and you can just drop like, what would you like? Create a YouTube title and description. There's really no reason why you're not creating content. It should be. I mean, it's just dead simple to create it. And what's nice is that you can do this on your phone, and you can connect it and then post it everywhere, focus on one typical social channel, your information about what's going on in real estate. I tend to focus on the short form, which when Minnie was mentioning earlier, and I'll show you some of that. But you can create these type of things and ready to go. So there's that one. You also have the elevator pitch for maximum impact. You can drop in here, help me create a perfect business pitch. And then it's all created. It has over 10,000 samples of great business pitches that I put in there and program with prompting. So it will ask you quick questions. We're going to tell them like 3 things. What do you want to do? Your company do in 1 sentence. Who's your ideal customer? Also, another thing too that is amazing, and I use it on the phone quite a bit, is I'll use the voice. You can actually speak to it and have an interaction. Some agents will use this for calling. If you want to get over trying to call someone, cold call, you can say, okay, I'm going to make some calls to clients. I want you to be this type of person, and to be rough with me, and then just let's go through a scenario. And you can have the interaction with that as well. I use it for business planning quite a bit. Or if I have an idea, I have special meta glasses that I wear that has built-in microphones and speakers, and I'll be just walking around talking in the air. I look crazy probably most of the time, but I'll interact with the ChatGPT to kind of give me these kind of questions and that type of stuff. How's the pace? Everyone's okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Any questions so far?
I have a question on the phone.
Yes.
So do you just search on your phone for ChatGPT, or how do you engage with it on your phone?
So you install the actual app on your phone. Yeah, so I would encourage you to install on your phone. You can install on your iPad, your phone, your computer, and if you don't want to install it, you can just interact with a browser. Okay. And you just need your username and password once it remembers that you have access to that.
Question,
yeah.
What does GPT stand for?
Generative predictive something training. It's really crazy.
I never knew that, so I wondered
Yeah,
if that was...
I can ask it. It'll probably tell me right away. Yeah.
Okay. So it is a thing.
It is.
And these things sort of born out of that.
Right, and then the one thing too, so I'm glad you brought that up. So in the links section, you'll see here, these are the top AI models. So these are direct links to the top AI models available on the internet that I'm aware of, okay? There's more, but these are the top ones. So here's ChatGPT, which we're looking at. This is Claude. Claude is a beautiful engine. And Claude is kind of like, it's an artist when it comes to writing. And when I want to create something that's really artistic or well written, I'll use Claude in my automations to do that. Also, Claude is an amazing programmer. It's one of the best programming engines that I've utilized. So I'm like so-so in programming. I know enough languages, but using Claude, I'm dangerous. I can do anything with Claude. I'm as good as a high-skilled programmer, kind of junior level, about 5 years in, and it's amazing what I can make full programs, full stacks. It's just crazy what I can do with Claude. So Claude is great. I actually have a subscription to it. And again, you can do a free one as well. That one is one of the different LLMs. Who has Claude? Anyone use Claude? Yeah, Claude's amazing. Google Gemini. So who has a Google account? All of you have access to Gemini. So as part of this, if you just go to gemini.google.com, you have full access to the Gemini. Now, Google was late to the game because they didn't want this AI stuff to get out there because they make all their money by you doing what?
Searching.
Googling, yes. They were freaked out. Now they've done about a 360 on it. Now they're fully engaged with it. They're freaked out and they're fully engaged. So so you have a Gemini. So Gemini is pretty good. I use it for actually. So what does Google own? That's one of the top. So you have Google as the number one. What's the number second site that's searched the most? YouTube. So Google has all the video, all the images. It is spectacular what they have. Who heard of Nano Banana? Oh, man. So this is why I come out and talk, because this stuff, all of my geek friends know about it. It's like everyone knows about it. So Nano Banana is, you see it looks like a banana, right? It's called Nano Banana. And you go to Gemini, it's all free, by the way. All you need is just a Google account. You create an image, and this is a sophisticated image thing. So when I have listings, we had a listing where the person passed away and he had 7 cars in the front driveway. I used Nano Banana, I removed all the cars. And it did a great job. So if you have like a great sign and unfortunately there's a person or a cat in there, you can remove them very quick now using this. You just say, okay, you upload the photo in there, remove it, and it'll do everything for you. It also has some pretty spectacular the video stuff through VO, which is amazing. Now, OpenAI has their competitor called Sora, which is one of the mini stuff. So that's another thing too. So that's Gemini. And then the other one that we have is Grok. And Grok is through our friends through Twitter, Elon Musk. This one's a really interesting one. So Grok, and the reason why Elon Musk bought X is that he wanted all that data to create, because these require a tremendous amount of data to actually make them intuitive. The Grok one's really interesting. It actually has some different type of personalities where it can act like a jilted boyfriend or girlfriend and give you a lot of sass if you really wanted it. Also, they're going to be doing a bunch of different things. They're doing video stuff. So, and on top of that, Teslas, all of that. Think of you're driving a phone. Who has a Tesla? Anyone have a Tesla? So I had a Tesla. But all of that data is just collecting a tremendous amount of data, and they're using that also to build these models and everything else. So Grok is a big one that's out there. If you haven't, it's a nice one to use as well. And then last one we have is, of course, Microsoft. Now, Microsoft is they're using the ChatGPT engine, but they're also starting to look at Google as well through Copilot. So that's one thing too, which is amazing that their browser is now a thing. It's through Copilot. So if you want to do some advertising, and focus on Copilot as well. All right. Okay, we're good on time. Moving on. So those are the ones here. So now we're going to talk about the different one here, the virtual staging bot. So virtual staging. So we mentioned before, again, if your client wants to pay for the staging, that's fine. Just make sure they pay for it. But I have some properties that I do a lot of leases, and it would be great if you staged it. I'm not going to invest in it because I'm only making a few $1,000s on it. So what I did, one of my clients, and again, what's nice about this stuff is the technology wasn't that great. And then one of my clients showed me, I just did this on ChatGPT. And I go, wow, where did that jump come? Because I didn't know you could do that. So then I started looking into it, and it's like, okay, it's gotten better again. So I went ahead and I created a virtual staging link bot that you can go ahead, and this is on the links, on the custom link, this is the virtual home staging bot. And using this, you can drop in there, upload a photo, and it'll create a staged item. You can empty out a hoarding room. So if you have someone who's a hoarder, you can empty everything out of it. So it will do that as well. I also set it up where, and again, you have to be careful because you're required, and we do require agents that whatever you put out there, if it's written, you have to make sure it's appropriate. When I put in the MLS system, when I use virtual stage photos, I will mark it under the title. I also put in the agent remarks, some or all photos are virtually staged, and also will include the original image as well. So I'll keep all the nice images up front, all the virtual stage ones, and I'll keep the original images down below, in the 60th type of thing, because most people are going to look at it. But I'm going to give you an example of this. So using this virtual home staging bot that you have access to, and it's free, by the way. And another thing, too, that you have to be, you have to make sure you have access to is a commercial license. A lot of people don't know this, but using ChatGPT, you have a commercial license on anything you create through the image generator, through DALL-E. DALL-E is the actual engine that creates through ChatGPT. Any image I create, I can take this and put it on my products and sell it. You have a commercial license. In addition to that, same thing for us in real estate. If any image we make, we own that image. That's our image. So whatever we create through DALL-E on that, we now own that image. So that's important to make sure whatever you use, you have a commercial license for that. Yes, ma'am.
What does it mean, commercial license for?
Great, it's a great question. So a lot of people, they'll start to create like art flow. Say, for example, here's some of this pretty cool stuff. Back in the day, like I created an image so I could put myself in any circumstance I want for creating photos. And the problem is you start using that in you start selling books or anything else, do you have the right to do that? And that's like, for instance, this one here. That I created using Artflow. I created an actor, and I gave it all these images, and I trained this Artflow bot so that I can put myself in absolutely any circumstance. So for Halloween, I had you dress up as Sunday, or was the other girl? Oh, Wednesday. Sunday, Wednesday. She looked great too, by the way, for Wednesday. So I have an avatar that's trained in Courtney. I have an avatar for me. I, of course, did World of Warcraft orcs. Everybody know World of Warcraft? Oh, gosh. Yes, killing me. So this one here, for the entry level, I don't have a commercial license. So if I were to use this in something that I made, like, say, $1 billion on, that company can go back to me and say, look, we didn't give you a license. You didn't have it initially when you did this. Now, if I pay the up version, I now have a commercial license to that. So now I can sell that product. In our case, if we're doing real estate, that kind of stuff, you can use it. So that's why we want to make sure before you use anything you create through these AI engines that you have a license if you're going to do it commercially to do so. Yes, Gina?
And where do you get that?
You have to review each and every website and review the terms and conditions and make sure that you ask that question throughout. Does that make sense?
Or have AI do it.
You can have AI.
You get your commercial license, it's through
Each and every single platform.
Okay.
I have about 30 subscriptions.
I see.
So every subscription, I know which one's commercial and which one's not. Yes.
So when you pay for the monthly fee on ChatGPT, you automatically get the commercial license?
For images, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where you have to, and every single site's different. Some will hold it back. Some will give it to you. ChatGPT wants you to utilize it, so they make it available. And they might change it, too. That's another thing, too. These things change all the time.
Yeah.
So if you have ChatGPT paid version, you already have commercial license.
Yes. Yeah. All right, so then showing that the bot that I hit. So here's a virtual staging one. I'll show you kind of the before pictures. This is a lease that we had, and I'll bring this up here. And you can see kind of the before and after photos here. So this is it's a clean, it's available for lease. We're going to drop the price. You got any clients, please let us know. North Redondo, beautiful townhome, separated, freestanding. You got a nice little yard. Great, next to a park, amazing. We don't know why it's still on the market. So anyways, here's the property. It's very clean, as you can tell. You got stainless steel appliances. You got nice granite countertops, wood flooring throughout. They've updated it, just really clean. So this is how it looked beforehand, right? Mm-hmm. And so what I did is I said, okay, let's go ahead and add some AI to it. So I used that same bot, which you have access to. And then I went ahead and I put some virtual staging furniture in there. And here's how it looks with the virtual staging furniture. Oh, that's my Culver City one. Sorry. I also did it in Culver City too. I have another one available in Culver City, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, beautiful property. All right, this is how it looks. This is all fake. That's all virtually staged. Doesn't look too bad. And I can specify modern. You can give it different colors if you want. It does a pretty good job. And I have it set it up so you can keep the same. You can turn it at different angles if you wanted to as well. And the thing though, the chat with DALL-E, it takes like 30 seconds per image to generate, which feels like a lifetime. Just to give you a heads up. but it will do it, and it does it for free, and you can do it as much as you want. If you don't get the results you like, I just start a new chat session, and I just put the photo up there, and I just do what I need to get done. But this is all driven from, this is all from that. This is all fake. You saw it before. It was empty. This furniture is not there. What do you think?
DOLLY?
Sorry?
What is DALL-E, how do you spell it?
DALL-E is the engine that ChatGPT utilizes to create images. DALLE. And you don't need to know it. It's part of it. Yeah, you get it as part of your ChatGPT. But the bedrooms too. The house is completely empty.
I have a question.
Sure.
I haven't used the staging tools. Does it give you like creative like choices, or is it limited?
No, you can do anything you want. You can put chickens in there if you'd like to.
Create your own. Well, of course, you probably create your own patterns on a different.
Well, you could do for modern or traditional. It'll do some of that. Yeah. I don't have the artistic, or I don't like the thing. I know there's like colors that are popular. You can specify colors if you want to too. Yes, Gina.
Would it also go to the length of, because that looks like a small room.
It is small.
You said this room is 10 by 11 and the client has a queen bed. Would it?
You could. It just fix it in there.
Would it show you like how much room you would
No,
have?
no, that's getting really, really technical. It just puts pretty pictures or furniture in there just to make it look kind of nice, so it's not ready to go. So that's the virtual staging one. One thing too that all of you have access to, and I wanted to bring this up as well. So that link is free. You'll get that access to that in the links section. So on top of that too, we have access as CMLS members, I didn't know this, to Reimagine Home. So as MLS members, we have like 30 credits, so we can gain access. I'll log in real quick here. And under links, oops, they kicked me out.
Did you pay your dues?
I don't know if I did or not. Still thinking. Oh, it's still thinking. It's logging in. We'll let it go. I don't know why it's stuck on it. So the MLS, that link there will take you to the free, kind of free, freemium, virtual staging. So even if you don't use the link I have, I'm logged into MLS, go to links, and then under here, and it's hard to find, but it's, God, there it is. Reimagine Home. You click on it in the links, it will log you automatically in. Every month you get 30 free credits. See 30? And then I can then just go ahead and drop in pictures, and this is a paid one, and it's all ready to go through the MLS. So if you wanted to use this, you can try this one out and see how it looks. And it has different features. It'll ask you multiple questions. The more changes you make, it takes away from that 30, and eventually you have 0. And then you can't do any more. So that's why I use the other one. So you could maybe start off with it and then pull into the My Virtual one and finish it off, because you can just drag and drop the photos, not a big deal. All right? Okay. All right, moving on. And go back to here. So the next one, so that's the virtual staging. Now CMA presentation. So I use this for my CMAs religiously. It does such a great job. It actually, I would say it's probably the reason why I've gotten some listings and price reductions too. So how I do it is a little involved, and that's why I want to kind of just show you. And I'm using both the ChatGPT, I'm using all the sources that we have available. All of you in this room have the exact same sources I have. And then I use a tool called Gamma. Has anyone heard of Gamma? Okay. Okay. So I hope I didn't break it. So we'll see what happens. So the MLS, so I run a CMA on it, just the same thing you've done before. I just did short, and then again, the very last part, this has to do a quick CMA report, right? And then I pull in the MLS report, the RPR, tax IDs, which you've done before. And also, in this case, it's a duplex, so I brought in my rent-o-meter, show me what rents are in the area. I just turned it down, Eric. I don't know what's up. It's okay. And then RPR. I like RPR because it gives you like some really cool data, okay? So then what I do is I take this information, and then I will open up ChatGPT, and I will pull it in to ChatGPT, and I'll use this prompt. You're a real estate analyst. Review the following MLS data and write a concise professional market summary comparing the subject property to its comps include average price per square foot, days on market trends, market direction, heating up, cooling down, or stable, plain English explanation suitable for a seller. Keep it under 200 words. Insights help with pricing strategy. So in lieu of time, I'm going to just show you how it looks from one of my sessions. Again, too, another thing, too, about ChatGPT is that all my previous sessions are all right here. So I can go back to it, and I can actually open it up and revisit it and expand there if I want to. So it's all there. Yes, ma'am?
So you're saying when you pull it in, you mean all of those live as like a PDF on your laptop?
Yeah.
Somewhere on your desktop. You pull it all in and ask it all that information.
Exactly right.
Spit this out.
So here's the,
Oh, gotcha.
I went ahead and I dragged those 4 PDF documents to ChatGPT. And what's great about ChatGPT is it analyzes PDF like no other. It'll read everything. And then I drop in that prompt that I showed you. You're a real estate analyst. Review the following MLS data and write a concise professional market summary. And then it comes back with this. And this is an actual live one. Market summary for 1852 260th Street, closed limited duplex, shows an average price per square foot of $477 across range of sales. And it gives you days on market, and it tells you, okay, plain English takeaway, buyers are finding better value in larger duplexes, priced between $975 and $1.5 million. At your current price, the cost per square foot is far higher than it has. It's vacant, though, too, so that's one other thing, too, it's vacant. We can't do in the MLS, we get in trouble, we got in trouble. Strategic price adjustment to $925, $975. So this is helping me do a price discussion with my client based upon all this data. Normally what we do is we throw all this information to our client and assume they know how to read it. They don't. So this is what's nice about it, and this is what I've been doing, is I've been changing my tactic, because even my smart clients, I said, I'm just going to assume, just want to make sure I'm telling them the story of why we're making this decision. So then I said, okay, then I go here, create a clear professional real estate market summary presentation in 10 slides or fewer. This is the other prompt I use. The data provided, presentation should be structured. And what this is what I use to create my gamma. So gamma is this little beauty. It lives to make presentations. So this is my gamma environment, and you can get one for free, and it just has a gamma stamp on it, or you pay $10 and it takes it off. I can take any data in here, and it uses AI to create beautiful slides. I can then interact with it, and this is what I use to create this. So right off the bat, I used that environment there to do the CMA, and it came out with this. Here's your market summary for 1, slide 2, comparable sales analysis. And ChatGPT will create slides. It sucks. I've tried endlessly to make it work. With Canva, everything else, it does not work. With Gamma, whole nother game. It works beautifully. So using this exact same information, then I go back into Gamma, and I go ahead and say, okay, let's go ahead and do a new item. So I'll create new. I'll import file URL. So because it only does one PDF, I have to merge all those PDFs together. So that's what I do. I'll take all PDFs and I'll merge them into one. And then I'll upload it here. And then what happens is when I upload the file, and I'll just do this one for now, it'll take it, it'll analyze it. It's using also AI to create this. So if I didn't give it any direction at all, it'll do a nice job. But I wanted to give a certain narrative. I want to make sure that I analyze it, so I'm guiding it. So when I click continue, all I do with this, and I'll show you the output of it, is I say, okay, make it concise, because you can also have detailed, minimal, concise. This is how the results will be. And then over here, this is where you copy and paste everything from ChatGPT. So I'll go back to ChatGPT, because it gave me everything here, right? All these slides. So I'll take these slides, and I'll just copy and paste it in there. So I'll take it from here, and I'll just take it all the way down. Control C. And then I'll just take it and paste it back into Gamma. And that's where I paste it there. And then it gives the guidance to it. Then I hit create, and it creates this. You're all probably wondering, pins and needles. So this is the Gamma edited, or with no instructions. So this instructions here, original with no, so here we go. So this is what it comes up with it. Now you notice, that's not my picture of my listing, right? But this is what it came back with, without me doing anything. Look at that. Most people don't create this. I was in corporate America for 30 years. We would spend hours doing something like this. We call them decks. We loved our decks. We do endless decks. This is spectacular. It's based upon structure. And what's nice, I don't have to make much changes to it. I'm just going to change this one and this one. So all I do is I go back to Gamma, and you can change photos. You can AI generate stuff. You can say, look, this is too much words. Give me some. You can get really big into it, but I only did 2 changes to it, and I came back with this, edited. So now here's my final. There's the back unit, and I just went ahead and did a over, because we have a whole thing. And then now I can send this to my client, coupled with an email, which, again, our friends ChatGPT will write for us. And I'll go here. And I'll say, okay, great. And draft email a client includes subject. I'll review the latest CMA, market activity, bring your duplex to market at 925. So then it creates my email. I put my attachment from Gamma, and I look like 100, like way above most anybody else out there. I guarantee a lot of people are not doing this. Yes, ma'am.
So I think I got lost, but I also think I might have understood. So you took all those 4 PDFs from the very beginning.
Right.
This is Gamma.
Yes.
All that went in there, and then everything that those PDFs generated from chat, that synopsis also went in.
Yes.
Both sets go in. Okay. So you only did that first step just because you would then, if all you wanted to do is have a synopsis of the.
I wanted
series-
ChatGPT to analyze it.
Okay.
And to then,
So it's like another step.
yeah, the reason why I pull in the ChatGPT is that the way I treat ChatGPT is like a very smart assistant. And this assistant,
Practice this.
I say, look, you know what? I need you to take this data and give me what you think. And then I'll have interaction with this. And no, I don't agree with that. Let's remove this, remove that kind of stuff. So I'm having a discourse. I'm talking to that assistant. And it's okay, I like the output. Now let's go ahead and make this into a presentation. So then I drop in this Gamma. This is the prompt that I use to create this Gamma presentation. And create a clear, professional. It's long, but you can. And also, ChatGPT created this for me, this prompt. But you can use this one. You'll have access to it. And then I drop that into ChatGPT. Then it creates a slide, because now it takes all of that content. Because remember, what's nice about the way people don't think about ChatGPT is that the way I view it is it's like a smart assistant that I'm helping guide, and then I give it as much information as possible to it, and it becomes even that more just smarter, and just it does a great job. The more data you can feed it, the more basis, the better it gets in its output. And now, then the thing is then, okay, now I need to tell that story. The problem is with ChatGPT, it's really hard to do that. But with Gamma, it's just beautiful. They're designed to work together. Yes, ma'am.
Just a quick question. So you had the realist information, the RPR,
Yeah.
the CMA from MLS.
Yes.
And you also mentioned rental.
Well, because it's a duplex.
Okay, so, and that's what I'm trying to, how does, and what's the rental that you use the information?
I'll rent a meter. You could also use Zillow's estimate if you wanted to rental, or you can go in MLS and run your own like comps, rent comps.
Sorry, you said rent-to-meter?
Rentum, yeah. So because this is a duplex, I like Rent-A-Meter. I use it all the time for quick rent surveys, and I put it in there, and it gives me a spread from 1 to 4 bedrooms. So it kind of gives an idea of like what's going around this particular property is Lomita. Again, for sale. If you have any clients, fully vacant, beautiful property. I don't know why it hasn't sold yet. So it's an amazing property. And then you can then use Rent-A-Meter, and you run a rent analysis, because that's part of it. You have to like cap analysis and what's the outcome. Yes, go ahead.
That's where I'm getting lost. What do you prompt for ChatGPT to how does it include the rental information into that full analysis?
That's a fair question. So what I do is that, with the exception of Rent-A-Meter, I go to the MLS, you pull a comp report, right? So here's the MLS report that we're all familiar with, right? I do a short version, then I give it a CMA, quick CMA report. That's how I do my comps real quick. You might do detail, and this is what you provide to your client, right? I do that on MLS. The second one, I go to Realist, then I pull the actual Realist text, because you always should do that to make sure you know who the owner is. In this case, we're already listed, but it gives us information, and also too, it gives you a summary of value as well. Everyone knows about estimated value, real AVMs, all there too. So I got that one, right? And then I like RPR, because RPR has all the sexy data. So if you're not using RPR, you should use it. You can pull very detailed reports. In this case, buyer, seller information. It has some really cool stuff. It brings comps as well. So I'm feeding ChatGPT this information. And then because it's an income property, I now need to do a rent survey. So I could go back to the MLS, include just a lease or a rent survey of 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom units in and around the area in Lomita. In this case, I just used Renometer to provide that report. And then what I did is I go back to ChatGPT right off the bat, and I just drag those onto a new chat. Same ChatGPT you have, by the way. Brand new, nothing there. And then I just I give it this guidance. You're a real estate analyst. In fact, you don't have to do this. You can just say summarize. And it'll look at all the data, and it'll summarize it for you. And you can have a conversation with it. In this case, I'm saying do this kind of information. That too. We're a little over. Do I have permission to go about 10 minutes over? Is everyone okay? Yeah. So this is the kind of, so what I'm doing is I'm using that, and then now I'm having, this is the market summary that came from that prompt. All I did was drag and drop these PDFs on there. That's all I did. And then once I have that, then I say, okay, I'm going to create I want to create a market summary. I like what this is, and this is the long prompt that I use to create the Gamma slide, and it gives you just some market summary information. Then I take those original 4 slides. I know there's a lot here, and I'll merge them together. The only reason why I do that is Gamma can only do 1 PDF at a time. Since these are all PDFs, you can merge everything together, not a big deal. And I merge them together, I upload it to Gamma, I give it the instructions, and it just develops beautiful stuff. Yes?
Can I ask you a stupid question? How do you merge them all together?
In Apple, it's really easy. I just take this.
How about in a Windows environment?
You have to have Adobe PDF. Or there's also a merge program you can do online. It's not, you have to pay for it. Or you have to go online, and it has a certain limit.
Okay.
You do it in preview?
Okay, can you finish that? You select those?
Yeah, so I'm in an Apple environment. Anytime I have a PDF, the way it works, you just select all of them, you right-click on it, and you say create quick actions, create PDF, and it makes one single PDF.
So all that's one big one now.
Yeah, that's how you do it in Apple. That's why Apple rocks and Windows sucks. She loves Windows.
I never knew you could do that.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, geez.
Oh, my God.
Oh, in fact, there's also a team with like images. I can create JPGs, everything. It's crazy. All right.
That's awesome.
So what do you think of that? Has anyone ever done that before? Is it a little overwhelming? I know there's a lot to it, a lot of steps. But in my notes, I do have the step-by-step how to do it, okay? So I included step-by-step, step 1, how do I do it? Like what you need to pull, right? RPR, Realist, MLS system report. Step 2, analyze with ChatGPT, take the prompt, drop it in there, analyze it. Step 3, once you have what you want, create Gamma with ChatGPT, right? And that's a long one. Apologize, it's long. And then turn it into a presentation with Gamma. Combine all PDFs into a single PDF. Import file URL, upload file, prompt editor, set to concise, additional instructions, paste ChatGPT there. I'm gonna do like an online thing. I'm gonna do some. You're gonna all have access to that too, by the way. And then I can update pictures, tweak text, and then share export PDF. So when I'm here, as soon as I have it all ready to go, and I'll go back to home here, so you can see I have quite a few. So here's that copy one. So once I have the presentation, then I say, okay, and I want to share this. You click share. Now I can embed this on a website, by the way. Or I can export it as a PDF, PowerPoint, Google Slides, or PNG files, which are pictures. It's crazy. The Gamma stuff is like really, really cool. All right, how are you doing? Good? I'm sorry.
It's very good.
Okay, it's a lot.
It's a lot of,
yeah.
How much time did it take you to figure it all out?
15 years.
15 years.
I'm on like a different level. So, but I wanted to make sure it's all very organized for you. So we got that. So that's cool. And then add your pricing strategy. So then I did this one here back to ChatGPT to write my email based on the CMA data. Write a short paragraph, explain my recommendation. Then you say draft an email, subject line, and it will do that. So now what you have is you have a document, an attachment that's not all these numbers and everything else that all the other agents do. You got a nice presentation that majority of your clients would appreciate because they're used to decks. Almost all your clients in the $1 million range, they're like corporate people like I used to be. They understand decks, and they do understand how long it takes to do the decks. And the fact that you did a deck on that, they're going to appreciate it more than you think. And that's how I've been able to get listings and price reductions and get information to professionals because they can appreciate what I'm doing. Your clients will appreciate this.
And this is a smaller, condensed version of a deck, so they're not going through all that, where you lose
Right.
them like by page 5.
Right.
This is-
Yes.
Got it.
Exactly. Because you're trying to explain it, and then you're hoping that they review it, and a lot of times they
So
don't.
much.
And then this way, it's something that's very visual, and they can go with like. And then when you have a presentation, you talk to them over the phone. Let's go to slide 10. Let's talk about what my recommendation is, or you can see kind of how I got there and my logic. So that's what's cool is that they go here. You provide the PDF document. They say, okay, here it is. Let's here's a property overview. Yeah, I get that. Price per square foot, active pending competition, what's available. They did this automatically for me. Days on market trends, fast moving profits. This particular property is 87 days, 75 to 117. It needs a price reduction. Income property, what the cap rates are, target. It figured all that out, by the way. And then the very last slide is really, this is the last slide that we want to have a conversation, is this one right here. Oops. Oh, I merged them all together. There we go. Marketing position strategy. Key takeaways and next steps. Price adjustment, marketing pivot, income strategy, timing. And it does all that. Now I can have a conversation with my client based upon actual data. And if they want to see the work, I can show them the MLS information. It's all there.
So you also give them this information and you attach your MLS?
You could. I don't usually.
Okay.
This is just plenty. It's there. A lot of times what I'll do, actually, I'll include a share link. So I'll include in the MLS itself, if you want to see the actual data, and then it pulls them to the CMLS share link, and then they can see each and every one if they want to, but then I have the PDF attachment as well.
And if you wanted to take this, you got to this point and you wanted, just for some reason, to add more subject property photos.
Right.
You can tell, would that be in Gamma?
Yeah, you go to Gamma, and you can start, and this is all fully editable.
Okay.
So I can go in there, I can add pictures, I can add slides.
Great.
In fact, this whole presentation is done in Gamma. So I was adding like slides for the QR codes and everything.
All right.
So it just, again, this will set you apart from almost every single agent out there.
I've been doing slide decks and it's killing me.
Well, you're going to love this one.
It's so slow.
And again, the links section, there's Gamma right there. So you click on it, you can get a free version of it. So just click on Gamma, and it'll take you right there. Okay? All right. So in closing here, so you can save time, win more listings, impress your clients. Again, your clients understand how hard this stuff is done. You're using this to actually make yourself apart, and you look really professional too. All right. And then here's some information about me. I'm going to offer all of you here if you want to have a one-on-one session, I'll do an invite to you. And if you want to get the class notes, this is the QR code. If you want to get these notes yourself, just take a snapshot, and then you can fill out the form. It gives me permission, and it will automatically email you the PDF document right here and that. So I'll keep that up there for you. Any questions while we're doing the forms? Yes, sir.
HeyGen?
We're going to do HeyGen. That's why I want just a little bit more minutes, and I'll show you some sexy stuff.
Is there a link, because my phone batteries?
Oh, is it dying?
Yeah, so
There isn't a link to it. If you can give me your card, I'll send it to you. I'll email you the link. I have a link for it. Everyone got that?
no.
Okay, sorry. Hit the camera, QR code. That's one of the good things about the pandemic was QR codes are now usable. I used to know about QR codes like 20 years ago. No one ever used them. Only good thing about pandemic.
That and home prices went up.
Yes, home prices. Spoken like a true real estate agent, yes. If you don't get it, just give us a card and we'll send you the link. Okay, I'm going to move on. All right, so again, you can follow me techtony.co on YouTube. So one thing I'm going to give you a bonus real quick. I purposely did not do this because HeyGen is a whole other thing. So I have been going deep into doing HeyGen stuff. See, this is something that I use. This is the little reels. Most people don't like long form. I've been doing long form YouTube for years. I got nothing. I've been doing these reels, and I'm getting like 1,000, 2,000 views on them now. I'm almost to 500,000 on a few other ones. It's weird, and I'll show you some of this. So this is my one I first started off with. This is kind of cool. I'm not sure if you can hear it.
All right, smooth and steady. Almost there. Touchdown. Harness off, let's move. Morning, meeting's not waiting. Made it. Let's get to work.
Most agents spend 6 months figuring this out.
This is all AI generated.
You'll master it in just
everything,
1 hour.
including this
I'm Tony
part.
Self with Harcourt's Hunter Mason. And if you're not using AI in your
It is
real
me,
estate
but
business
it's
yet,
an AI
you're already
avatar
behind.
That works for me.
Join me for AI at Work, a free 1-hour workshop where I'll show you 3 AI tools to instantly stage your listings, create stunning marketing content, and build pro-level CMAs, all in minutes with just a few clicks. It's happening Wednesday, October 22nd.
So that's like one of my first videos. And then, I did this one. So CMA just did or CMLS just did a big thing. 90 days, no longer, it's 30 days. Everyone heard about that, right? So I did a quick video on that one.
We have big news.
Big news. Big news. Big news. Cake.
Big change coming to CRMLS that every agent needs to understand. And it goes live November 19th. Starting that day, cumulative days active in
This is
MLS
all AI
CDAM will no longer
I
look
basically
back
give it a
90
script,
days.
and it just
will
does what I
only
want it to
look
do.
back 30. In simple terms, the MLS will now treat a property as new much faster than before. Here's what that means for you. If you take a listing off the market today, you must wait.
It's not like 100%. It's about 95% there. I can see some things that I don't like, but I'm telling you, it's all about just getting it out there and just doing it. Yeah.
Why would you have an avatar? This is a rhetorical question. Why would you have an avatar to do a video for you instead of you doing your own video? I don't get it.
Because it's tough to sit. Well, it takes time, and then you're not going to be as perfect as this right off the bat. This is like a one done. It's perfect. So when I go,
so the first time you put it in and then it spits it out.
Yeah.
It's already that good.
So this is the HeyGen. So this is my account, not that much. And here's my avatars. What I do is if I'm having a good day and I look pretty good, I record 2 minutes of video on HeyGen and I create a video avatar. And I'll do vertical and landscape. That's what LS stands for, landscape. And it creates these little avatars.
Hey, Money Frog, your digital twin is ready. Try creating video.
It also speaks 20 languages if I wanted to as well. I don't speak those languages, that's why I don't do it. I have also recorded some different types of video or audio, because audio is really important for video, by the way. And it uses 11 labs. And then I'm able to say, okay, this is like excited Tony, this is reading Tony, this is serious Tony. So my voice is consistent through all of my audio that I do through HeyGen. And then on top of that too, so this is that video avatar. You can do it for free. So click this link, you can create a video avatar. I encourage you to just check it out. So click that link, it'll take you there. I also created a custom GPT. So I've been doing MLS data updates. You know, like market updates? Like I always wanted to do market updates, so I've been setting it up for market updates. And now I have it so it sends it different updates. Now see where I'll show you an example. Wayfarer's Chapel so this is just YouTube, by the way. I only got 452 views on this reel for Wayfarer's Chapel. I did this a few days ago, which is crazy. Hermosa Beach, 154
Let's
views.
take a quick look at the Hermosa Beach housing market for November 2025.
This is straight from MLS data.
Right now, there are 19 single-family homes on the market. Prices range from $1.2 million up to $11.9 million, offering something for every lifestyle. The average list price is just over $4.5 million.
It does a weird head thing. So
you gave it the script.
yes. So what happens is let's all find that. We'll find. So I'll go here.
On your good day.
Hey, Money.
Videos.
Yes.
That when you give it a script.
The
first time it gives it that.
No, it just keeps it. It's like it's a snapshot of me, and it never ages. I got some fat versions of me. I've lost a lot of weight since about a year ago, but so yeah. And what's nice about it is you go here, and I can say okay. And now this has gestures, by the way. And this one, yeah. And then what's cool is, but then I found out to have reel. That's where I've been putting like the Sora stuff in ahead of time because I needed a visual hook. And that's why I've been doing like the other stuff where I have it like, this is an example of one of the vision for Halloween. That's all fake, yeah.
Trick or treat.
And then these are all created like a company called Blotato. These are This has had 1,000 views. I don't know what
Ever
I did.
wondered
I
what
just
Great
created a
Dane could
program,
stand
it
tall
just
among
makes it.
NBA players? Meet the majestic giants of the dog world. These regal creatures trace their roots
This has had
back to
1,000
Germany,
views.
not Denmark,
I didn't do
and
anything.
were
I just
initially
created an
bred centuries
application. It does
ago
it
to
every
hunt
single week,
boar.
and it creates a Great Dane
Picture
video for my
this,
channel.
a dog with the massive build of a mastiff and the height of an Irish wolfhound sprinting after aggressive boars. But wait, it gets even more fascinating. As time passed and needs changed, these
And that's using a great website called Blotato. Now, Blotato allows me to create these custom AI generate thing like in video, what Courtney's doing. But in addition to that, I can post to all of my different channels all at once. And I have, like I mentioned before, I have an N8, I have a custom server that I use that I program called N8N. And then these workflows allows me to create a form and upload stuff automatically. So if I wanted to, say, I do social posts for my agents, I created this application, and this is the last thing I'll show you, that creates a form, and based upon the agent, it will automatically post to their site with their images using Bannerbear and that kind of stuff. That's how, this is how down the rabbit hole you can get with it. I have it like just dialed in. It's beautiful, the stuff. So I'm able to create and do marketing that normally I would have someone off-site do. I took it away from our person inside a little bit because I can do it faster and it does a better job. So this is kind of where it could go. It has gone. So on top of that, so I'm going to be doing a HeyGen avatar workshop. So one thing I've been asked to do a workshop, I'm going to do like a 2-hour workshop on this. It's going to be paid, but is that something you guys would like? Be interested in that? Okay, cool. All right, then I'm putting that together. I'm going to create a school community around it too, which is really cool. That's where all the nerds go. And you'll have access to everything and also the other type of stuff. So that is it.
Wow.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So we should practice before that one, right? Before we come to HeyGen.
Oh, no, HeyGen's going to be completely different. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
You should see the HeyGen stuff I have put together. It's crazy. That's at least a 2-hour one, easily. Any final questions? Are you all okay? Everyone seems like out of breath. So you're good?
We're overwhelmed.
That I dialed it back big time, just to let you know. That was like trying to get to an hour. It's kind of tricky.
And it still goes over my head.
Yeah, you guys are all smart. You'll get it. All right, well, there's tacos in the back and cookies. Thank you so much again, Mark, Mindy, and Ross for sponsoring us. And I appreciate the time. And if you got any questions, you got our info, and we'll send some info to you.
If anybody needs anything sent to them, just give us your business card, and Tony will send it over to you.
So it's basically the,
My office is my car.